side, west side, worldwide. Welcome to Story Time with OG LA Ron. Please don't forget to smash the like button, comment, and subscribe. Go to the website and please don't forget the merch. Today, I wanted to do a story on a gang from the east side that been around for a long time, and they're not there no more. But the gang is 7-6 Shack Boys. How did I get familiar with 7-6 Shack Boys? You know, we had gangs all the way from Liso Village all the way to Long Beach, and I just want to talk about this particular area that the Shack Boys controlled. When I was a kid, I had a wild experience with the Shack Boys. When I first got familiar with the Shack Boys, I would always see writings on the wall, but I never really knew that this was one of the last gangs that had a leader. And I end up these guys was from like Florence, Central, Florence Central, 79th, which is Nadu, Hooper, Compton Avenue, and Roosevelt, a little bit of Roosevelt Park. I ran into these guys for the first time. Cato, my brothers and a few of us, we was at Roosevelt Park, and that's when the first time we ran into the notorious gang that they call the Shack Boys and its leader. Now, when we was at the park, we was at the swimming pool, and we ran into this guy, and he was saying he was from 76th Street Shack Boys, and he was the leader. And we was like, man, we from 6-8 East Side, and Raymond Washington started us, and I think Raymond Washington kind of like was over there with them, and but this guy, man, he kept wanting to fight girls. He wanted to fight anybody, but he just wanted everybody to know that he was the leader of the Shack Boys. And the Shack Boys had been around for a while. I don't know exactly who was Shack Boys, but I always know they used to write 7-6 Shack with the store. And there was a lot of them, and a lot of them, we was all young back then. I think I was in elementary school when I first ran into the Shack Boys, because the Shack Boys was right there next to the 7-4s East Side, which Raymond lived on be on that street, because Raymond lived on 76. And then you had the 7 Trey guys, and you had guys that was always, mentioning street numbers, because that's a lot of times in LA. We only have numbers to really. So many people live on one street. We use that number, and we was coming from out of the real era of gang banging, and Shack Boys was up and alive. You had the All Laws down there on 60th by Bethune Park, and I remember one day we was at school, man. I was at Edison, and I think we was in the free lunch program, and we was getting some free lunches, and this guy, I never forget, he had this red hoodie, and he had spook written on the hoodie, and it was like real fancy. I had never seen no hoodie that was like spelt like that on the hoodie part of the hoodie. And this officer, plainclothes officer that used to work at the school, he went up to the guy. He said, "Hey, man," he put out a notebook pad, and he said, "Your name's Spook. Your name is Larry something." He said the dude's whole name, Larry Coleman. Yeah, something like that. And I was like, Wow, this is when I first started seeing, gangs on the east side, besides the gang that my brother's name was from 68th Street, because Goodyear was still right there and live, and it was a lot of traffic over there. This was the exploitation of heroin back then, and angel dust and PCP. And from that day forward, one day we had went to this school. They had like a summer track meet or something like that. And I had went with Mara Money. And one time we had went to summer camp, and there was a lot of guys from all over the country, all over the East Side. That's when I first ran into the Fudge Town guys, Watts, the PJs. It was PJ. I think Fudge Town was around by right after that, but that's when I first ran into a lot of those guys, Lali and all those guys from the Hilts, Lenny Jr., all of those guys over there. We was all in summer camp. But to talk about the Shack Boys, they was claiming PJs, and we all was at the summer camp in the mountains, and everybody was talking about what gang they was from and what hood. We was on 6'8", Shack Boys, PJs, and different things. But we had like a baseball game one day, track tournament, and we went up to this school right there on Imperial, and I think it's right by the 108 police department. And this was the first time I seen guys that really know how to tumble. And we used to be tumbling and everything, and we would go against each other. And this was the first time I ran into Spook from Shack Boys. Him and his brothers and them, they was up there, some girls with him. And this was the first time I seen that it was the Shack Boys was kind of big, and they was kind of deep. And we was tumbling against each other, and that's how come I really met a lot of those guys from tumbling. And to get back to the east side, man, that's when a lot of these guys, they had started going to jail, and a lot of them lived in YATS and everything. That's when I first started. I ran into, I think Rat was kind of young, but I ran into Lil Bean, LIL, Spook, a lot of the guys that lived over there, but a lot of them was Kool-Aid, and Fig was real young. I ran in, I think Jap was over there. Big Keb lived in apartments, 76 apartments. I know Cato lived in apartments right there in the 76 apartments. And this was the first time that I know that the Shack Boys used to hang up at Pomalee, and Pomalee Elementary School. And they had a thing up there one time with a track meet. And we used to go up there to their track meet. They used to come to our school to track meet. They used to put on these track meets. And then by Roosevelt Park. This is the notorious gang that I think they had some 6'9" Shack Boys, but this was one of the first times I met the 7'6" Shack Boys. Hooper, Central, Compton Avenue, Roosevelt Park, East Side gang that I remember way back when I was in elementary school and junior high school. Shack Boys, they had a leader, and we all kind of like knew they had a leader. And then when Raymond got killed, it wasn't a lot of leaders no more, so everybody just went to individuality, and this gang started spreading all over the country, all over the East Side, and that's where we come from, over that area. Just to talk about, document the 76 Shack Boys. I don't think they're in existence no more.